Hot dogs. For almost 2 centuries, they've been a staple in the culture of many Americans and other people around the world. You can find them at every baseball game, grill, barbecue thing, whatever they are at. Ignore the terrible photos. Okay, I don't know what that guy's doing. Pretend I didn't show you that. Much better. Okay, back to the documentary. Here we go. Well, this picture doesn't really prove my argument that they're not tacos very well. We'll get into that. Now, this picture proves my point. We've been innovating hot dogs and such forever. I really should have wrote this down. Documentaries and such. Where this is the first documentary, okay? We'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, back to the documentary. I ran out of pictures. We're back to this one. Where was I? Since the 1800s, they've been a staple in American culture. And for those who are only subscribed because they want to see my handsome face, here I am. Hot dogs have a bit of a complicated history. Though some say they were invented right here in the good old US of A, others argue they were invented in Germany. One thing we do know, the legacy of the hot dog began somewhere in the 1860s. Okay, I don't know if I know that. That's what it said on Google. I might be spreading false information. But let's be real, if you've watched any of this and are taking any of this seriously, I can't help you. Back to the documentary voice. Back in the day, people often debated what hot dogs truly were. Are they sandwiches? Are they their own thing? Are they tacos? Tonight, we try to answer that question. Here's a little picture I thought you'd enjoy. Enjoy our delicious hot dogs. 25. Since the invention of these strange and unique foods, they've raised a question. What are they? Well, that is what we are going to find out tonight on Should have thought of a name before I started. What should I name this documentary? To find out. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not the best documentary maker, okay? You're looking at pictures of wieners right now. Deal with it. This guy's opinion.
We're doing a social experiment. That's the word I was looking for. We need to know if a hot dog is a sandwich.
No.
Moving on.
Okay, next.
No. It's not those things.
Just kidding.
No, because that's a tortilla. Yes.
We're doing a social experiment for YouTube. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I mean,
No.
it depends.
It does not depend.
It does
Either
depend.
it is or it isn't.
No, because it does depend. Because, like, either a hot dog, if you're thinking of a hot dog compared to, like, a taco, a hot dog would be closer to a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, a hot dog is a hot dog.
Well, is a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't think it is. I think it has its own classification, not a sandwich.
At least you don't think it's a taco. Next
No,
person.
it's a taco.
Queenie, are you okay being on YouTube?
Why?
I need to ask a question.
Okay.
We're asking like a bunch of people. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Sure.
I like that answer. I like that answer.
Thank you.
Hey, girly pops.
Kenzie, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a social experiment.
I personally think that it is not a sandwich because you
Okay,
don't
let's
see if hot dog. You don't agree that a hot dog is a sandwich because it has bread, meat, bread, and that's what a sandwich is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wrong.
What?
Shut
What
up,
do you think
Aiden.
it is? What do you
Let's
think
go
it is?
find
What
some
do you
more
say it is?
people who aren't
I
into
agree
Aiden.
because
For real.
I don't
Right,
know
but-
who that is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, there's that
Do
guy.
we ask him? We kind of are later.
Nah.
Yeah, it's like.
Should we go?
No. It can't be a hot dog. No, because a hot dog is very distinctly
As you can see,
bread. Hot meat encased in bread. Just not all the way.
This is a sandwich.
this is why we're having a social
A sandwich is sideways though. You don't put
What's a
a hot dog
hamburger?
like
What's a hamburger?
a hamburger?
Because arguing
it's a
is
burger.
not okay.
It's a hamburger is
It's
a
a
sandwich.
sandwich.
Bun, meat,
Yeah, but they're
and all your
connected.
extra
The
things.
buns are
No, they're not.
sometimes.
Not most of the time.
But sandwiches.
A sandwich is okay.
Wait.
We're thinking classic sandwich. If I go home and I make a
I'm glad
PB&J,
they're not in my
I put
comments
peanut butter on one piece of bread,
This is so
Yeah.
great.
jelly on the other, slap it together.
I think
that's
I
a
should
PB&J.
tell in my
What about, like,
speech.
someone-
If I make a
Oh,
hot
there's
dog,
another person.
a Subway
Oh my
sandwich.
gosh.
Well, that's
Do you think a hot dog is a sandwich? We need to know for a very important social experiment for YouTube, because YouTube needs to hear this. It's very important.
I'd say, you know,
Like hot dog including like the bun.
yes, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'd say yes because you put it again. You know, I heard of Ben. I kind of heard of. I said what Ben was. What
Don't
Ben was
listen
saying.
to.
So if like the bun falls apart in the bottom of the seam, push the two pieces of bread together. Then there's meat. You can put condiments on there. So yes, and I would agree. I would say it is a sandwich.
Yes. Good. You said the right answer. I mean, no, this isn't biased. It's an experiment. Sandwich we need to know for a social experiment on YouTube because it's very important that we resolve this issue.
And if you start talking about Star Wars, I'm walking away.
Yeah, because hot dogs, sandwiches, and Star Wars have nothing to do with each other. Only hot dogs and sandwiches.
I don't think like a hot dog is a sandwich.
Bye.
Wait, no. Is a hot dog a sandwich? We need to know for social experiment. It's very important. We need to no.
No, it's not a sandwich. It's a taco.
Okay.
The frick is that?
Grain on three sides.
Okay.
It's a social experiment. Very, very important.
Okay.
Because YouTube needs to hear this. Your opinion is very much needed.
Okay.
And as I can see, you like hot dog chips, so like we need to know your answer.
Okay, there's a lot of pressure here because, like, from one perspective, you have meat and potentially other toppings between bread. The problem is that the bread is connected on one hinge, which some people try to consider a taco. I'm not sure that I can consider a hot dog a taco, but I don't know if I think that a hot dog is a sandwich. And my reasoning actually comes from my wife. If I go to a restaurant, I don't typically see a hot dog under the sandwich section of the menu. And so therefore I'm going to determine that no, it is not a sandwich.
We have an audience.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel like that's valid, but do you think a hot dog is...
A hot dog is a hot dog. A hot dog is a hot dog.
We've talked about a few of those answers.
A hot dog is its own thing.
Yeah. Sure. What do you think a hot dog is?
Okay. So, if you hold a hot dog like this,
No, just say what you think
That's
it
like-
is.
yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. Because if it's like this, then it's its own
This is a
classification.
hot dog?
If it's like this, and hot dog's right here. But if
Wait,
you hold
but
like this,
no,
then
like,
it's a sub
is it a
sandwich.
sandwich or is it... So you think...
Neither, it's its own category.
Okay.
Hot dog's a hot dog. I mean, it's just like bun, meat.
No, but like if you had to classify it in another food group, you know? Like if you were to say like, oh yeah, a hot dog is a sandwich.
Hot dog is not a sandwich. A hot dog is a taco. Because.
Oh, okay, next question.
What?
What do you think a hot dog is?
A sandwich?
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sandwiches. One of the most iconic and eaten foods in the world. There are probably millions and millions of different types of sandwiches. The history of the sandwich, much like hot dogs, is a complicated one. While many credit John Montagu, the Earl of Sandwich, as the inventor of the sandwich. Wow, I said sandwich a lot in the span of like a second. Moving on. There are reports. There are stories. No, what's the word I'm looking for? There are... Apparently sandwiches were eaten in ancient Rome. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I had a brain fart. I don't know. Sandwiches. I should start over, but I'm not gonna.
What do you think a hot dog is?
That's a soup.
There are those out there who apparently believe a hot dog is a soup. We will get into that. I'm not gonna go into the history of soup, because I have to imagine that that is a complicated one. Okay, I mean, we've been boiling water for a very, very long time.
One person thought hot dogs were soup. How do you feel about that?
Hot dogs don't have broth, so it can't be a soup. Soup needs to be a liquid with chunks in it, okay? Hot dogs is not a liquid.
Yeah, I agree.
Tell me who that is.
You're not wrong. No.
I wanna
No,
search.
I think they wanted to stay anonymous, actually.
Anonymous?
Anonymous? Say
Unanimous?
Shut up. No. One person thought hot dogs were a soup. How do you feel about that?
I'm actually really disgusted and offended because personally I have a long history of being called soup. People have been throwing my family and they will keep throwing my future generations into soup to boil them. So honestly, super offended.
Okay, we're back.
I'm so glad you feel so like I'm very passionate about this. One person thought hot dogs were a soup. How do you feel?
Okay, no. So if it can be a soup if you do like a chili dog or something. Because if you put chili on your hot dog, then it's technically a soup.
Wait, you think chili's a soup?
Chili's not. Wait, chili's a soup.
Is it?
Yes.
Wait, what's chili?
Is a hot dog really a sandwich? Much like why we're even here, or the question of how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. This is just another question we will maybe never know the answer to. People bring up a lot of good points either way, but one thing I can say for sure is that hot dogs and sandwiches may be the same thing, they may not be the same thing. But I can tell you that I will gladly eat either one of them. This a sandwich? That is the question that we have tried to answer